Hello, today we'll talk about three architects, uh, all born on September 6th, and today is September 6th, 2023. We'll start with Fumihiko Maki, who is today 95 years old. Let's wish him happy birthday. As you can see, born on September 6, 1928. He's a Japanese architect who teaches at Keio University SFC. In 1993, he received the Pritzker Prize for his work, which often explores pioneering uses of new materials and fuses the cultures of East and West. Anyway, this is not my description. It's from Wikipedia. This is the man, 95 years old today. Happy birthday, Mr. Maki. Um, a gentleman, of course, educated at Harvard as well, as a true gentleman was and is supposed to be, educated Steinberg Hall at Washington University. Now we go through his built works, 1960 in St. Louis, the United States. I like these early works from, the 50s and 60s with the courageous and optimistic modernism, but not superficially so. So this architecture from mid-century, in my opinion, well, it does receive attention and it deserves attention, in my opinion. Again, it's not an architecture that is alarmingly, innovative, so to speak, but in its ambiguities in a way, and it's in a way an architecture on the threshold. It is modern, but with still a certain sense of reticence. St. Louis, but the city itself is another story. It used to be the crime capital of the United States, St. Louis. So we cannot truly talk about reticence vis-a-vis the city within which this building finds itself. Hillside Terrace, 1969 in Tokyo. A fine housing complex by Fumihiko Maki. Again, his architecture is discrete in a good sense of the word, and maybe the word discrete should be employed very often, if not always, in a good sense. 1969, 1998, I guess that there was, added something later, 30 years later almost. Tokyo. Yeah, a housing complex which is sensitive and not extravagant. Fumihiko Maki. Work at Expo 70 in Osaka, the famous world exhibition in Osaka, 1970. He worked with Kenzo Tange and others, Kiyonori Kikutake, Arata Isozaki. There were very important architects at that time, all of them. I mean, the ones that I mentioned, well, with the exception of Kikutake receiving the Pritzker Prize, Kenzo Tange received it, Arata Isozaki received it, and Fumihiko Maki received it. So what is it about these Japanese? Traveling back in time to the streets of Osaka, Japan in 1970, people today can only imagine the visions many architects around the globe had for future designs and innovative building technologies that would later ignite today's generation of architects. The theme of the expo was progress and harmony for mankind. Hello, Ukraine. And the aim was to showcase the possibilities of modern technology to create a foundation for a high quality of life and peace throughout the world. Hello, Mr. Putin. Images from the event after the break. You know, this is the text I took from somewhere, but there was no break. There is no break. A total of 77 countries attended the event, and the number of visitors surpassed 64 million people, making it one of the largest and best attended expositions in history. This was the first World's Fair to be held in Japan. And a few years from now, it will return to Osaka. So some images. I don't know exactly what Fumihiko Maki did here, but yes, it was a splendid display of optimism vis-a-vis the future. This one, I think, was by Kikutake. Anyway, the future is now. I mean, this was the mentality, but the future was not quite like this. This is Kisho Kurokawa, another important Japanese architect. Now the spiral in 1985 in Tokyo. We don't really see the spiral here, but this is the building called the Spiral in Tokyo by Fumihiko Maki, a hybrid building with various functions. And I like the hybridity of in architecture in general, and in this building in particular. Fumihiko Maki was and is an architect who can accommodate various things within a building, bring them together, maybe because of his diplomatic skills and a certain sense of tolerance. Designed in 1983 for the lingerie company Walku, and that has become one of the best known works of Maki. Spiral is a place where people can drop by whenever they want to experience genuine art, to look at exhibits over a cup of tea, or enjoy a live concert while having drinks. Therefore, the Spiral building is designed to meet varied needs for flexibility, I guess. The concept, as part of the concept of fusion of art and life, Spiral building combined the use of commercial functions, fashion shop, stores, restaurant, cafe, beauty salon with cultural and artistic activities carried out in a multi-purpose room, fashion shows, art and contemporary design exhibitions, theater, dance, concerts, etc. Here is the Spiral. The interior, yes, the Spiral does show up. This brings to mind some echoes from a store designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, and maybe even to an extent another designed by him, the famous Guggenheim Museum. But towards the outside, you don't anticipate the presence of the Spiral in Fumihiko Maki's work. This is one of the least flamboyant architects in contemporary times, Fumihiko Maki. Even the Spiral itself, explicit as it is inside, is rather something a little bit unusual in his work. Now, a gymnasium from 1984, Fujisawa Municipal Gymnasium. This is a more futuristic structure, if I am to call it so, metallic as it is. He took risks. Any important architect takes risks, even those with a more mellow, so to speak, relationship with life and reality in general. Japan built some remarkable gymnasiums. If we have to think also about what Kenzo Tange did, but was not the only country, but executed impeccably, as you can see. It's an architectural mechanism impeccably built. Makuhari Messe, 1989, Chiba. I don't know what this is. Let's read. formerly known as the Nippon Convention Center, the Makuhari Messe, derived from the German word meaning trade fair, is the second largest convention center in Japan behind only Tokyo Big Sight. Makuhari Messe was designed by famous Japanese architect Fumihiko Maki and was completed in 1989 with the intention of establishing the area of Makuhari as an architectural destination separate from the Tokyo proper. Sited in the northwest corner of the Chiba prefecture in eastern Tokyo, the Messe's expansive interiors and multitude of exhibition halls lends itself to high capacity events, including a plethora of recent high-tech expositions and trade shows. The four-level complex exceeds 1,000 square feet, 1 million square feet of floor area and is comprised of 11 exhibition halls. Well, these are numbers, but let's now look at the quality of the building. It's huge indeed. For a prosperous Japan. You would say there isn't a lot of reticence here. Well, in terms of dimensions, it's true, there isn't, but this was the program required from the architect. A huge hall, and here is, a little more architectural flying because of these canopies, but otherwise the building itself is just a huge convention center. Fumihiko Maki. Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium, 1991. Another huge space without, uncomfortable pillars or, disturbing the central space. Yerba Buena Center for the Arts in San Francisco, 1993. Well, we had seen better buildings by him already. Republic Polytechnic in Singapore, 2006. An educational complex of buildings. What can we say? Nothing really very moving here, in my opinion, except perhaps the decentralization of a possible monolith. And that's, I think, a good thing. Delegation of the Ismaili Imamat, 2018, Ottawa, I guess, religious structure. But this one also, I don't know. But we can appreciate the mesh of the facade, ornamental as it is, and bringing in a sensitivity that is so needed in architecture and life alike. But towards the exterior, it's a rather blunt architecture, if the word is not too severe. Annenberg Public Policy Center at the University of Pennsylvania, 2009. Glass, glass, and glass again, long live air conditioning. Perfectly executed, yes. But look at that facade covered in glass. Hit by the sunlight. MIT Media Lab extension at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, 2009 in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Fumihiko Maki again. Gray architecture, Gray, and not Great, if you allow me the maliciousness. It's another building, in my opinion. it probably functions well, but 51 Astor Place, 2013 in Manhattan, New York. I don't know, was it built? I'm not sure. Yeah, it was built 2013. Yeah, I don't know who the gentleman on the left is, maybe the developer, but on the right is the architect, Fumihiko Maki. Now, Tower 4 at the World Trade Center. I mentioned that he built one of them, the Tower 4, 150 Greenwich Street of the new World Trade Center, also built in 2013 in Manhattan. It's a prism, very, very well executed, but I actually like its elegance and its lack of, strident flamboyance. Fumihiko Maki. Again, glass and long live glass and long live the alarming electricity bills. Aga Khan Museum, 2014 in Toronto. An international architect, no doubt, Fumihiko Maki. Toronto, Singapore, New York, San Francisco, so on. With fame comes a plethora of commissions. Another work in Singapore, Skyline at Orchard Boulevard, tall building. We know that Singapore is the Switzerland of Southeast Asia, so they can build anything. There is the money and there is the political will. So they invite architects from various countries of fame to build, build, and build again. The Switzerland of Southeast Asia affords uh, the erection of many ambitious projects. SeaWorld Culture and Art Center, 2017 in Sheku. I don't know what this is, but we can read here. Maki and Associate was invited by China Merchants Property Development. Yes, China, one of the most revered Chinese real estate companies, to undertake they wrote this, I guess, first project in China. Our mission was to design the first cultural facility within the Sea World's multi-use development that serves as a dignified house of art and culture for Shenzhen and Greater China. The building form follows a two-part composition, a podium and a pavilion. The sculptural podium, clad in white and green granite, houses the museum and retail functions. The pavilion consists of three cantilevered volumes protruding to the surrounding city, mountain, park, and sea. The three volumes house a theater, restaurant, and multi-purpose hall. I always wonder, why is it that we have such expressions, art and culture, as if art is not part of culture? This is the building, or yeah, it's a good work, but again, not alarmingly innovative. Some slanted columns, whiteness. But the good thing is, again, that it's not very centralized or monolithic. So there are various parts that create a sense of variety. But for me, it's too septic. It's too, I don't know. This is how art is. for me, art is descends into the viscerality of the world. So a building destined to art perhaps should have some viscerality too, if I am to call it so. It's a good building though. China, Fumihiko Maki, bridging between the two cultures and the two countries. We know that there wasn't always peace between China and Japan. So much whiteness does tire me off, I confess. Where are the graffiti artists who smash the walls with their violent colors and messages? Really, where are they? Or maybe in China they cannot afford to live adventurously. They might be thrown in prison. Fortunately, there are some projections here, large projections. But again, these tiring white walls, of course, waiting for the rebelliousness of art. But why? Anyway, China, a nice sketch by Fumihiko Maki, rather poetical. And the plans are probably taken from Arch Daily. They show a lot of drawings, and I'm glad they do, but they're always very whitish and gray and rather pale. But I'm grateful that they document very well every project. That's a good thing actually. It's just that the drawings are all as if they are done by the same people. China. Works in progress, Fumihiko Maki. United Nations new building in New York City. I don't know exactly what he was supposed to do here. And his proposal, I guess he worked with a team, just as it happened when originally the United Nations building was built. Andhra Pradesh capital city, Amaravati in India. I think I'm not sure if this building, this project was. Sorry, something is happening here. Do you see any image? You probably do. Hello? Do you see the
We
images
see
or
the
not?
writing.
Pardon?
No, we see the writing.
Pardon? You
We
see
see
the
the
writing?
writing.
Okay, last week it was reported that Foster and partners had been selected to design the capital complex of Amaravati, a new capital city for the state of Andhra Pradesh in southeastern India. The commission, however, has not come without controversy. As revealed by Indian news company The Wire, the project had earlier been awarded through invited competition to Japanese firm Maki and Associates, who were later removed from the project under uncertain circumstances. So I guess things happened. That this was his project. Anyway, I don't know what to think of it. It's serene, but there was a need for a statue either made by Alexander Calder or Calder-like. Anyway, it was not built in India, and his project or their project was removed under, unknown circumstances. absorbing the trends, I would say, in a discrete manner. That's what Fumihiko, Maki, and partners did. You also have to understand, Maki at the time of this project was almost 90 years old. Reinhard Ernst Museum and in by Wiesbaden, again, too much whiteness. But what could this be? Could this be the drawing? No, this is the work of the artist, and this is the work of the architect. So there is a difference, isn't it? The museum, the museum, the Reinhard Ernst Reinhard, I guess is the name of the artist, and the museum dedicated to him is like this, proposed by Fumihiko Maki, but the artwork of the artist is totally different. Well, I don't know what to think about this. Why is it that architects are so, pudic, or I don't know, prudent, or I don't know how to describe them. Here is the artist and here is the architect. I mean, the building was probably finalized. The last image I have in this presentation is this one. So the construction began, but I don't have later images of it. But we do see, in these renderings, what the museum was supposed to be for this artist, Dionysian as he is, an Apollonian building for a Dionysian artist. So let's wish happy birthday to Fumihiko Maki. Thank you.